What is going on? All right, so I figured I was gonna do them in separate videos, but you know what? I might as well just combine them into one huge video. So yeah, let's get into it. Boom, Sam Raimi Spider-Man. We're gonna start off with the first movie. First movie, very very basic, very simple, very very eloquent. Actors were perfect for their role. Sorry, I just choked. But yeah, actors were very perfect for their role. William Dafoe as Green Goblin, absolutely incredible. At his age, doing those stunts, incredible acting. Tobey Maguire's portrayal of Spider-Man was amazing. The acting when it came to like the relationship with Peter and MJ was very awkward. For me, it felt like Hilary Dunn or whatever her name is and Toby didn't have enough chemistry for it to work. It feels like they were trying to force it just because the movie's deadline, and it didn't feel as genuine as Andrews and Emma's was. When it comes to Spider-Man, I really love the love aspect, and I feel like Tobey's movies didn't really prove that. As this girl MJ, just because Peter didn't show up to a show, decided, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go date this new guy. Like, that's what I don't get. The fact that MJ is supposed to be the most iconic love interest ever betrays Peter Parker in his first movie. Like, why? Like, why? It's not, like, every time Peter tried to get with MJ, it never worked. It never worked. And it was one of those things that pissed me off greatly. The fight scenes for its time, amazing. You gotta love the visual effects when it came to this movie. The plot is very basic. It's Spider-Man's origins. His main villain is Green Goblin. And yeah, Green Goblin's portrayal was absolutely fantastic. I love the fact that William Dafoe was picked to be Green Goblin. It was one of those things which Hollywood did right and Sony did right, which I absolutely love. Side note, this series won't include the Venom movies. That's just gonna be a whole different thing. That's gonna be a whole different episode, video I mean. But yeah. That's all I really have to say. This movie is a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. It really sets the grounds for what these movies are going to be like, and the start of the Spider-Man movies, because this is one of those superhero movies that actually worked very well, and it was the Kickstarter to new superhero movies like Batman Begins and stuff like that, which I absolutely love. This movie from Marvel helped progress into Spider-Man, and Tobey was like 30 playing a teen, which is honestly insane, and I love the relationship between Harry and Peter in this film as well. Alright, that one done. Let's head into Spider-Man 2. Okay, so we talked about Spider-Man 1, so now let's hit to Spider-Man 2 and 3. So boom, Spider-Man 2 shows Doc Ock's introduction into the Sam Raimi verse, and honestly, this is one of the movies that people consider the most memorable for Sam Raimi Spider-Man, and I honestly agree. It really shows that Peter's side of being Spider-Man isn't as glorious as it's shown. It shows that Peter still has stuff to pay. Peter still has bills to pay and stuff like that. Even with the landlord beating on Peter's ass about being like paying rent and stuff like that. I love that part about this movie. Peter loses his job. He has to go back to Daily Bugle taking pictures. He can't even get a relationship with MJ no more because being Spider-Man takes so much out of him. So this eventually caused Peters to sort of have what they call in the movies web block. Basically, his emotions are making him not focus enough for him to shoot webs and be Spider-Man. It's basically making it's making his emotions take control. So he can't like shoot webs or do anything because his emotions are all bugging out because he can't really focus on anything else except like MJ and failing and stuff like that. This happens to him starting to quit being Spider-Man. Like, it really I think this is where he quits. Hold on. Yeah, but it really shows Peter's emotional and human side. Like, not all this stuff works all the time the correct way. There is some type of block that happens within being Spider-Man, and I love it. I think this is where they get I'm back, and he breaks his back, I think. Yeah, so it really shows the human side of Peter. It shows that Peter is sort of still human and he's not the really big hero. It shows that he still has stuff to do as Spider-Man, and he still has things that he has to complete. Yeah, so it is Spider-Man 2. Yeah, so the web block basically causes Peter to lose all his powers, and he has like no confidence anymore and stuff like that. And yeah, significant scenes for me from this film have got to be the train cart scene, absolutely fantastic. The bank scene as well. And that final fight was honestly a letdown for me. The first fight where Peter went against Doc Ock was better than the final fight for me anyway. But yeah, I loved this film. It really shows that Peter is still human, and it shows that Peter is really still a Spider-Man, but there's levels to being a Spider-Man, and it comes with, having to have to control your emotions and having to have confidence all the time and being willing to risk your life. So now let's head to Spider-Man 3. What people consider the worst Spider-Man movie for Spider-Man in the Sam Raimi verse. Sorry, I needed to hydrate. Yeah. So in this film, Toby gains the symbiote. And the way they portray Bad Peter is so meme. Like, this is where you get that same, where he's like dancing like, You get that. So yeah, that was pretty funny. But yeah, it just shows Peter being bad, a very more brutal Spider-Man, and a very brutal Peter. Like, he doesn't care anymore. He uses Gwen Stacy to make jealous, to get Mary Jane jealous and stuff like that. And I wasn't mad at Peter doing that because MJ was a punk in these movies. Holy shit, I hated MJ in the Sam Raimi movies. Hated her. But yeah, Peter basically uses a symbiote, but then he starts to realize that the symbiote is kind of affecting him in a way that he doesn't want to be affected. So boom, Peter decides to rip the symbiote off by using the clock tower, the church tower bell. Only problem is that Eddie Brock was down there, and at this point Eddie and Peter had beef. So once that symbiote bonded with Eddie, it was over, and Eddie became Venom. So yeah, basically it was supposed to show Peter having the symbiote, but it felt very rushed. It didn't pace itself to the center of what it would be, and I really wish that they really learned to pace it. Some of the fight scenes were kind of underdeveloped as well. Let's be honest, that black suit is absolutely fantastic. But I give the Spider-Man 2 film a good 8, and I give the Sam Raimi film a good 7 out of 10. The Spider-Man 3, I give it a 7 out of 10 because it feels like they forced so much into one story and it just didn't fit right. But yeah, now let's head into Amazing Spider-Man 1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about a movie that I actually adore, and it's about The Amazing Spider-Man. Alright, so boom, let's get it in. Well, get started and get it in kind of sounded wrong. Sorry. But yeah, I just finished watching The Amazing Spider-Man, and I want to see if it holds up with 2023. And I can tell you that it does. It holds up to 2023 standards very well. The plot is very simple, but it's very it's very grand, I should say. And it really helps the film develop in its storyline as well. Love the relationship with Andrew and Emma Stone being Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy. And when I was younger, I kind of hated the suit, but now seeing it back, I actually like the suit a lot. It's one of my future cosplays that I would love to cosplay with. But yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man suits are also considered some of the best Spider-Man suits they got for Spider-Man in a live-action a movie, which is actually pretty cool. So basic plot is, it's basically the origin to Spider-Man. Boom, Peter Parker's parents disappear, they get killed, so Peter then is on his own with Uncle Ben and Aunt May. Uncle Ben gets killed, Peter learns great power comes great responsibility and becomes Spider-Man. Meanwhile, Kirk Connors becomes the Lizard, and a relationship is formed within Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone being Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker. That's pretty much the plot. Significant things that happen are Captain Stacy's death, and honestly, that's pretty much it. If I'm being honest. Also, a very human Flash in this movie as well. Like, Flash is a character that most people just see as a jerk, but in this movie, they make him very genuine and caring. At the beginning, you kind of like, oh my god, here's classic Flash. But then when Uncle Ben dies, you can see sort of the human side with Flash. And you can see that Peter Parker and Flash can eventually become friends just from that one scene, which was honestly a pretty good touch. I like that a lot. So let's talk about choreographed fight scenes. I love the fight scenes in this movie. It really well shows the acrobatic skills, or like the sort of fighting style Spider-Man does. It's very low, very compact, and very agile, which I love. It shows how fast Spider-Man can be in this film, and I love it a lot. Also, you gotta love that car scene where it's like, oh, knives My only weakness is small knives. You gotta love that. That was fun. I actually did a TikTok on it, which is actually, and I love the phone calls between Gwen Stacy and Peter. It's one of the funniest things from this film, and I absolutely love it. The fact that they make Gwen Stacy and Spider Man like the fact it's just like one of those things where it's not the relationship that defines them, it's the chemistry between both of the actors, and the actors do very well with those lines, and I love it. um Also, you can definitely see how Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker's relationship is gonna go throughout the story. You can definitely tell that this is a relationship that will be cherished in their lives, which is honestly a very, very good thing to have. The fact that they were able to really get the good chemistry between Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone was fantastic. I love it a lot. So I would give the movie a good rating. I wouldn't say it's a bad movie at all. People probably only hated on it just because it was so different from the Tobey Maguire movies, which is what I hate about some comic book fans nowadays. It's the fact that they have to compare everything to one particular series and not open their minds to something new. Think about it. Boom. The Batman that came out, I believe, after Batman the Animated Series and Batman the New Adventures of Batman. That show came out before both of those, and people thought it was terrible because of how it didn't show any qualities of the Batman the Animated Series. And that's the thing. These people, some fans are always gonna relate something to something else. Think about it. People are still diehard Toby fans. I get that a lot, but you can't compare everything Spider-Man does to Toby. That's and just like how y'all do it with the cartoon, Spectacular Spider-Man is amazing, don't get me wrong, but you can't compare Spectacular Spider-Man to a new Spider-Man cartoon like Ultimate Spider-Man. Like, you want everything to be how it was in your childhood, and you have to accept that that's not going to happen. And that's what Amazing Spider-Man shows. The fact that the fans saw something so different, but yet they hated it because it wasn't how they grew up with. And that is what pisses me off mainly, is because people don't want to accept a new thing, but then when the old thing dies out, they want to cry. But then when the old thing comes back, it's like, what the hell? It's like they're shocked. But then when that old thing doesn't come back for that one thing, it's like, damn. Think about Toby. Toby came back for Spider-Man No Way Home, and now there's talks for him to be back. And now all these Toby fans are really jumping up and down. But then we're not even going to talk about how the Andrew Garfield bandwagons just come out of nowhere either. And it's the fact that people bandwagon on Andrew Garfield. When Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 came out, nobody liked Andrew Garfield. But then when he came back in No Way Home, everybody's like, oh, Andrew needs the third movie. Andrew needs this. Andrew needs that. Like, you wasn't doing that when the movies came out. You just wanted to do it now because everybody else is doing it. And that's what I hate about comic book or geek culture fans. The fact that they jump on trends that they don't even agree with. But this movie is a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. I love this movie as a child. I remember watching it on TV a bunch of times. I never got sick of it. And I love the fact that they really show the human side of Spider-Man, especially with some of the fight scenes and the scenes that they do, such as the bridge scene as well, which I love. It really shows Spider-Man's human side, and it really shows who Spider-Man is and what he is. And I also love the fact that it sort of shows Peter's evolution into his powers. It's not like, oh, he's Spider-Man, now he knows how to shoot webs, now he knows how to do this, now he knows how to do that. Nah, the movie really takes its time with showing how Peter becomes Spider-Man and how Peter learns his skills, such as how to web swing, how to fight, stuff like that. Now, he doesn't go through a whole training arc, but you get that montage of him creating, like, the web shooters and stuff like that. Nah. Sorry about that. But yeah. That's what I love about this film. I love that part about it a lot. The fact that they really show the evolution of Spider-Man and the fact that it shows Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man. And I love the new direction with the suit. It's a suit that's very different, but I love it. I love the lenses. I don't know why. The lenses just grab me, and and it's just like, wow, this is amazing. I love the lenses in this film. The film really does justice to Spider-Man's new designs as well. So I believe the timeline is Toby's is I think Toby's is spectacular, Andrew's is amazing, and Tom's is ultimate. I believe that's how it's going. I don't know if this is accurate or not. But yeah, I love this film. It's a really fantastic film that you can all enjoy with your family. It's not one of those films where it has to be very pushy with its plot. It doesn't have to really. It knows how to pace itself, especially for a Spider-Man film. Fight scenes are incredible. The final fight was actually pretty good. I love the fact that it was like both Kurt Connors and Andrew not only fighting each other but letting out all their emotions and angers towards each other, and showing the emotion that Peter had for Connors, like showing that Connors was considered a father figure to Peter and that it really hurt him to fight him. And I love how Andrew Garfield was able to capture that. And the script, okay, the script is a good 7 out of 10 at best. I ain't gonna lie, they always got to do something wrong with Spider-Man's scripts. If I'm being honest, they really got to do justice to Andrew Spider-Man sometimes. I feel like the script was bad writing, kind of like how they did Brandon Routh's Superman. As yes, I seen the film. The writing was kind of poor, but you know what? The movie capitalizes with the suits, the choreography, the fight scenes, and the love interest. The love relationship in this film carries this film, if I have to be honest. I love the relationship between Gwen Stacy and Andrew Garfield. And now, of course, I'm going to review Amazing Spider-Man 2 as well. But yeah, that's my review for Amazing Spider-Man 1. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. And make sure you subscribe, because I'm looking at the analytics and most of y'all aren't subscribed. So come on, subscribe, help your boy out. Thank you for watching. Alright, we finished Toby's, so now let's head into and we did Amazing Spider-Man 1, so now we're going to do into Amazing Spider-Man 2. Boom, we're starting off the movie with one of the most fantastic web-swinging scenes we've ever seen in a Spider-Man film. Let's be honest, that web-swinging scene was perfect. It very well maps out how Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is, what he's like, and what his personality is like. I feel like you can sense, I know I sound crazy saying this, but I feel like you can sense how a Spider-Man is just by how the way they swing their webs, which is absolutely amazing. I love that. Boom. Let's be honest, the plot is kind of crazy. You got Max Dillon's origin, then Green Goblin's origin, and it's kind of all over the place, which is kind of the one downside of this film, which is the plot that is within plots, which kind of makes the movie feel a little bit unsettling in a sense. It makes the movie feel rushed, and it doesn't feel fully complete. But let's be honest, that one scene with Peter and when Gwen gets killed, holy crap. Amazing acting by Andrew Garfield there, holy shoot. So, basically the movie is set a couple years after Amazing Spider-Man 1, which is honestly understandable. So, boom, Peter is being Spider-Man still. He also has some kind of on and off relationship with Gwen Stacy, which is kind of ironic, but yeah. That's there. Then, of course, Gwen Stacy dies. The movie really tries to map out how a broken-hearted or a Spider-Man that loses somebody so important to him really can change, and it does change him a lot. Like, bro even stopped being Spider-Man for a while, which is kind of insane because Gwen Stacy died, because in his mind, Gwen Stacy was like someone that he couldn't bear to lose, and now that he lost her, he felt like he had nothing to fight for. He even said it in No Way Home himself. After Gwen died, he stopped pulling his punches. He started beating the shit out of people. So I would love to see how a broken Andrew Garfield would be. Even without the symbiote, he knows how to fight, and he knows that he could kill somebody if he wants to. All these Spider-Men know they can kill somebody if they want to, but they have to hold back. But Andrew, he doesn't look like he want to hold back no more. But yeah, I give the movie a solid 8 or 7 out of 10. The movie is fantastic. It's one of those, like 7 or 8 actually. It's one of those movies where you can definitely enjoy it. It's not going to feel rushed or anything. Well, it does feel rushed a lot, and the sort of lines that are given to the actors feel very off place. They don't feel like they fit the scene very well, and that's one of my pet peeves with the film. But other than that, fight scenes and the VFX studio was amazing. Oh my god, the CGI in the film, absolutely incredible. You can tell that this is what Spider-Man is supposed to be like. The only problem with it was bad writing and bad plot. That's literally the only problem in it. The fight scenes, the VFX, the CGI, the acting, all of it was good. Literally just the plot literally just the plot itself, and it delivered one of the most fantastic Spider-Man suits out there. So 7 or 8 out of 10 for me. Alright, now let's head into the 3 Spider-Man movies for Tom Holland's, which is going to be the last one in the video. The video clip might introduce the Infinity War suit. I'm not going to count the Avengers movie. I'm just counting the standalone three Spider-Man MCU movies, which is Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man No Way Home. So let's get into it. Boom. So Spider-Man Homecoming resets everything. It takes their take on Spider-Man in the MCU. Tom Holland, honestly, I don't got a problem with Tom Holland, but let's be honest, he's an eye candy for the ladies. Let's be honest. We can be honest when we can say that almost every Spider-Man fan that is a female or male has a crush on any Spider-Man. So we can say that. Um, so boom, it shows how Spider-Man would be like in the MCU. It's not like a origin story per se, but it's like, oh, Spider-Man has to sort of become his own hero, because what happens in the movie is that Tony, aka Iron Man, rest in peace, he decides that Peter isn't almost he's not as ready as to tackle big evil crime, taking on big level crimes. Like, he should stay to the street crime. And Peter's like, dude, I've been doing Spider-Man stuff for so long, you even had me tag along to fight Captain America. Like, I can do this, like, just give me a chance. But Tony's like, no, you're too young, this is not meant for you, just stick to the low level crimes. But you know this can't happen in this film. So boom, Vulture arises in the MCU, which stars Michael Keaton, which is crazy, but yeah. So boom, what happens is that Michael Keaton's he had an organization where he would collect these parts and he would collect parts for the I guess like for some company, and Tony's people came in, and basically almost all of Michael Keaton's or Vulture's or Toombs or Adrian, whatever they call him in the film, he lost all his friends. He lost his business pretty much, and his whole crew became jobless. That's when they decided to keep the alien technology. They sort of hid some of the alien technology. This technology came from the first Avengers movie, I think, yeah, and Adrian kept some, and he used it to become the Vulture. So now Spider-Man has to take down the Vulture. Now, this movie really shows how Spider-Man is going to be like in the MCU. It shows that he wants to tackle the big level crimes, but it isn't going to be as easy as he thought it was going to be. And he needs to learn how to sort of not be cocky all the time, and sort of learn that, okay, I need to, like, there's more to being a hero than just solving crimes, that there has to come sacrifice, such as him having to leave his crush and stuff like that, him disappearing and stuff like that. And so it comes with sacrifice, and it shows that, you can't be Spider-Man without having to worry about or leaving somebody. Like, being a hero always comes with a sacrifice. And this relates into the next movie, which is from Far From Home. So boom, the significant scenes for me in this film would probably be the boat scene, the Washington scene, and the final fight. I love that final fight between Spider-Man and Vulture. And I love the homemade suit too. The homemade suit is very like homemade. Like, it's not like, oh, super like technical, it's very homemade. So now let's head into the second movie, which is Spider-Man Homecoming. No, not Homecoming, God. Spider-Man Far From Home. So in Spider-Man Far From Home, Peter decides he's going to go on vacation with his class. But what happens is Mysterio arises, and Mysterio is supposed to be shown as a hero, but we all know he a villain. We can't even say that he's not. But yeah, so boom, Peter thinks that, oh, being a hero means I could get some relaxation time. But no, because being a hero means that you can't get time to relax or be on vacation, because there's always going to be somebody or something that you have to stop. There's never going to be a chance for a breather or anything like that. And it really shows throughout this film. The fact that Peter's trying to, get with Mary Jane, trying to do this and that with his friends, but it shows that he can't escape this hero life, because being a hero means that you have to sacrifice so much, and Peter doesn't want to do that sacrifice. So boom, Peter decides to give the one of the things Tony had left for him, because what happens is Tony is dead at this point. Infinity Endgame has happened, and Peter has to learn to be a hero without Tony. Tony was like the father figure for Peter. But yeah, boom, Peter decides to give Beck Tony's software, which would help him control Jones, and Peter realizes that was a mistake and has to go against Mysterio. Peter is eventually able to defeat Mysterio, and he is able to win MJ's heart. But when he gets back to New York, Mysterio reveals his identity and reveals that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. Significant scenes for me would be obviously the Paris Bridge scene for me. The final fight scene. I love the final fight scenes in all these films. They're absolutely incredible. And Spider-Man, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. All right. Now let's head into the final movie in this video, which is Spider-Man. Oh, I give Far From Home a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. Fantastic movie. I love the fact that it shows Peter's child nature also. Amazing. In the final movie, and well, not the final one, but the one recent for Spider-Man in the MCU is Spider-Man: A No Way Home, which basically means Peter's identity is now revealed, and he has to find a way to combat it with his normal lives. This actually messes his life up a lot, as he can't get into a dream college with his friends, and he has to sort of try and get back into it, try and fix everything. We have special appearances from Matt Murdock, aka Henry. How's his name pronounced? The guy that plays Daredevil. I always forget to pronounce his name right. But yeah, him, Andrew Garfield, Jamie Foxx. What's the Doc Ock's name? Alan something like that. No, I don't know his name. I always forget their names. But yeah. So basically, it shows the MCU's iteration of Spider-Verse pretty much. Where it brings back Tobey and Andrew Spider-Man, and also some of their villains like Dr. Kirk Connors and Electro from Amazing Spider-Man. Then you got Doc Ock and Green Goblin from Tobey's. And Green Goblin is a absolute menace in this movie. And the fact that William Dafoe does all his stunts at his age is fantastic. But yeah, Green Goblin murders Aunt May. So now Peter is basically without no adult guidance. Bro, Aunt May is dead, Uncle Ben is dead, and Tony Stark is dead. 3 people that he saw as family or like parents to him are now dead. Peter is on his own. So now Peter has to, yeah. So the movie really shows an emotional side of Peter. It shows that Peter's giving up on being Spider-Man. It shows that Peter has been so broken by everything that's happened, because he tried to help the villains get back to normal, but it just didn't work. It just failed badly, and that's what made Peter upset and made him lose so much. The fact that he tried to help and it just blew up in his face. And then J. Jonah Jameson is over here freaking ruining Peter's life even more. Like, J. Jonah Jameson, I know that the dude's supposed to be annoying, but they took J. Jonah Jameson being annoying too hard. But the final fight scene is honestly fantastic. Andrew Garfield does redeem himself with the saving of MJ for Tom. I love the fan art when I saw it on the internet. It was actually fantastic. But yeah. Now Peter decides to tell Doctor Strange to reset everything, make everybody forget that he was Spider-Man, meaning that no one will remember. It's kind of like in the Civil War storyline, where Peter made everybody forget that he was Spider-Man because he was a part of Tony's team, but then went to Cap's team, which kind of made a little bit complicated stuff. But yeah, I give this movie a 10 out of 10. This is what brought me back to the Spider-Man films. Sure, Far From Home was nice, Homecoming was cool, but we needed that redemption for Andrew, and I needed that badly. I was an Andrew fan since day one. That is the Spider-Man I grew up with. I've seen Tobey stuff and stuff like that, but like, bro, Andrew was my guy. So I knew that once I saw Andrew come back, I was absolutely excited. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and tell me what you guys think of these movies down below.